McKinney North is in the playoffs for a third consecutive season under head coach Darryll Craft, who joins us now. And Darryll, you look forward to that first-round matchup with Carrollton Creekview Tuesday night at Plano East. It has been a rough end of the regular season, though. Your team lost 4 of 5. What have these last few days been like as you look to regroup?
Well, I'll be honest with you. Those 4 of the 5 that we lost 3 of them in overtime. Once we sealed against Wiley, we knew we were in the playoffs, and there really wasn't anything to battle for as far as anything besides seeding, which, again, you play Frisco, you play Centennial, you play Creekview. They're all 3 pretty good. We had a senior night, which allowed us to be able to play some kids who really didn't get the chance to play very much. And we have 3 seniors, and Neil Souls and Adam Munsell and Carl Scott, who haven't had the opportunity to play, and played many minutes that night, and was very good from a coaching standpoint to allow those kids and reward those kids. And then our last game against Pierce, we played without Zan Ridley, who was sick, and so those last 2 games I kind of threw out and looked at the other 3 games that we played. We're 1-2, lose a double overtime to Highland Park, and we lose a game at home against Rockwall in double overtime. I still think we're playing pretty good basketball, and the last week the kids have just played really well in practice and been focused, and I think they're really geared up to go play against a very good Creekview team on Tuesday night.
Julian Perry, certainly one of those players that who was probably pretty fired up to enter the playoffs. He was a key member of your varsity even as a freshman, and now as a sophomore, leads your team in scoring. He had 32 in a rousing victory over McKinney late last month. What do you need from Perry here?
I just need him to do the same things he's been doing. And he doesn't have to do anything more. He's a good leader for us. He shoots the ball well, gets to the rim well, passes the ball. The kids look up to him in the sense that they know that he's going to be a constant for us. But we've had other players all year long besides Julian step up and do a great job. And the thing is, we feel that Creekview has 2 very good basketball players that are going to score a lot of their points. I look at our team, and I think we got 5 or 6 different kids that can lead us in scoring and be very productive. So our team has got to be able to be better than their team.
Several sophomores that you rely on. Look at Perry. Look at your sophomore point guard, Jola Otubu, who overall, even though he's endured a few struggles here down the stretch, he's performed just about better than anybody could have expected to start the year.
Most definitely. You talk about Julian in the game against McKinney High, and he had, I think, 32 points against McKinney. Jola is the one who, in my opinion, played the best because of the fact he had to endure all that pressure that McKinney High is going to throw to you and get the ball to the people that can score. And the thing that's so good about Jola is that he can score himself. I mean, he can get to the rim. He's fearless getting to the rim. He can shoot the 3. This is his first full season at the varsity level. He played 3 games at the end of last year, and he's just been amazing for us.
Otubu can be the distributor while also scoring. We talk about Perry's scoring, and you get a lot out of Colin Curran. Sometimes off the bench, he's capable of shooting lights out, and you'd like to see that a little bit tomorrow night against Creekview.
Colin plays starter minutes for us. He just, in my opinion, he just feels more comfortable early in the year coming off the bench, and he had such good games. I didn't feel there needed to be a change, and I talked to him about, hey, are you okay coming off the bench? And he was. He'll get a lot of attention, and he got a lot of attention in the last 7, 8 games. He's just such a great shooter, can get to the rim, very creative, and also is a great passer and sees the floor well. So, there'll be a lot of attention given to him just because how good he is.
And there's always a lot of attention on your 6'9" senior center, Zan Ridley. He's been battling a bit of an illness here the last few days, and you certainly need him on the floor tomorrow night.
My biggest concern tomorrow night, Ted, is the fact that we're going to be able to handle Creekview's 2 6'4" post players. They're not the most skilled players, but they are just battling rams in there. They were going to go get rebound after rebound, very athletic. Zan's going to have to play well. Brandon Bladel is going to have to play well, and Tabor McFadden at that position. But not only is our 5s going to have to play well, the kids that we look for all year long, Bryson Brown, Julian, and Alex Pelton to get rebounds, we're going to have to go in there with an attitude of that this is going to be a very physical game inside, and we're going to have to do everything we can to keep them off the glass.
Darryll, one guy that doesn't get mentioned a lot for your team this year is Cody Wilson. And how proud are you of your group considering Wilson goes down in the summer with a knee injury? You expected a lot out of Cody this year, just like the rest of your sophomores, and yet here you are with the 3 seed out of your district and right back in the playoffs.
you know, we thought we had a chance of making the playoffs at this time last year because I knew that we were going to be fairly talented, but I knew we were going to be young. When Cody went down, a lot of people got to that, oh my goodness, you know, where's the scoring going to come from? How are we going to handle this? We're going to be smaller. Because he had such a great summer. When we went down to A&M camp, he played just outstanding for us. The thing about our kids, though, they're just so resilient. Jola has the attitude is that, you know what, no one can stop me. Julian's had that attitude since he's been as a freshman. We have a kid like Alex Pelton who is as tough as they come for our team, and it really is the heart and soul of our team because he brings that mentality of, you know what, whatever we have to do to get this job done, we're going to. Colin can flat out shoot it. Zan's 6'9", has good skills around the rim. We have a good bench. Bryson, Steele Douglas. So I just can't tell. I can't put in words how proud I am of this team because truly, unless you were part of that group and maybe some of the parents, no one gave us a shot of making the playoffs. And to make the playoffs with 2 games remaining, lock up the 3rd seed, is just a tribute to what our kids do in practice and how hard they work.
The difference between this year and the last 2 playoff trips is you're not the 4th seed coming out of the district. Like you mentioned, number 3. You were tied for 3rd with Rockwall to close the regular season. Your athletic director, Sean Pratt, wins a coin flip with Rockwall. North is the 3 seed, Rockwall the 4 seed. They'll play 9-4A's district champion in Frisco. But you referenced this earlier. It's not like there's that much difference between the district champion and the other playoff teams from your neighboring league.
100% correct. You know, if you play Frisco, you play Frisco Centennial, you play Creekview, you're going to play a good basketball team. What I think is the major difference, though, is like you said earlier, that we're not the 4th seed, but I think we're a better basketball team. Over the past couple of years, we had Antonio Arnold, and he was our go-to guy, and you know, if he didn't come up big for us, we're going to be in trouble. Tomorrow night, we can have one kid not play real well and still have a chance to win a basketball game. That's not how it was in the past. If Antonio didn't play well, we're going to be in trouble. If Julian doesn't play tomorrow, Jola and Colin and Zan and Steele and Tabor and those guys can come up big for us, we're going to be fine. So we're a better basketball team, even though we're a younger team. We're a better basketball team this year than what we were the past 2 years because we don't have to depend on just one kid. We can depend on 5 or 6 different kids to try to get the job done.
Yeah, you certainly have a wide array of weapons. Meanwhile, Creekview, we mentioned them a bit earlier, they count on 2 in particular to score most of their points. The dynamic backcourt of Stephen Buckner and Justin Cueto both average more than 15 points a game. How do you deal with those 2?
That's a good question. Buckner is a type of guard, and I told our team this, it reminds me a lot of Jola. Now he's a senior, he's stronger, probably a little bit smarter because he's played a couple of years, has that experience, but he's one of those guys that can get to the rack and score, knock down the 3 from deep, make his teammates better. Those are a lot of the same attributes I see in our point guard. The shooting guard reminds me of a lot of Colin. Can shoot it from anywhere. You better be a hand in his face. He can get to the rack, but his number 1 thought process is shooting the 3. So I like the way we match up with those 2 guys. Now, I'm not saying we're going to be able to contain them or stop them or anything like that, but I like our matchup because I think we're a very good guard-oriented team. And I think our guards will make sure they do everything they can to be close to them when they're getting ready to shoot the ball. Again, like I said earlier, my biggest concern is how we handle the inside game and the mentality we come out and how we're going to get physical inside. And, you know, I like our chances. I think we're playing fairly well as far as where we are in the season and what we've accomplished. Now it's just time to go out there and play. And I really don't think, since this is our first time a lot of these kids have been to the playoffs, that's going to make a difference. I mean, they're a little bit different in mentality. They go out there, they have fun, they want to play, and they know what's at stake and they know what's at hand, and they understand how good Buckner and Cueto is, and I think we'll be ready for them.
Darryll, you've made the playoffs each of the last 3 years now, but overall no playoff wins since the run of the regional tournament 5 years ago. How special would it be to end that drought tomorrow night?
We've talked about that. You know, it's great getting into the playoffs, but you don't want to be known for that team that, well, you can get in, but then you can't win a playoff game. Because then people start talking about, oh, maybe his district's weak, and they're just lucky to get in. They're the 4th seed, they're the 3rd seed. You know, we feel we have a good basketball team, and we feel that we can win on Tuesday night and even make a run to go to the regionals again. But you can't make that run until you have won a playoff game. And I don't want to say we have a monkey on our back because of the fact we haven't, because most of these kids, you know, they're all sophomores for the most part. You know, we have a couple of seniors that have played there and been there before, but I like the challenge. I think our kids are really excited about going and playing against Creekview, and I think we watch a lot of film on them, we respect them, but we don't fear them.
Darryll, we appreciate the time. Wouldn't expect any fear coming from your group.
Thank you very much, Ted.
Best of luck tomorrow night. Darryll Craft, head coach of the North Bulldogs, who head south tomorrow. Plano East. It's North and Carrollton Creekview in the first round of the Class 4A playoffs. Tip-off at 7:30 Tuesday night. And that is our show for today. Again, make sure and join us on 97.5 KLAK Tuesday night. It's a first-round matchup between former district rivals McKinney and Frisco Centennial. Tip-off at 8 o'clock. Next week, it's our first look at softball. Remember, if it's McKinney ISD Athletics, it's on Sports Talk. I'm Ted Emrich. See you next time.